Hello fellow guitar geeks, I'm putting two pedals head to head today. It is the Russian Big Muff Pi from SOVTEK, which is also EHX, and the Reissue EHX Russian Big Muff Pi. Which one's better? Let's find out. This is the first round, a standard fuzzy riff using some open drone notes. To me, the original SOVTEK version retained this clarity, this clear sort of mids and tops, although being super loud. And I've just set everything at 12 just as some kind of reference. The reissue was a lot more muffled. You can see that I've now pushed the tone up to over 3/4, the sustain over 3/4, and the volume almost at max. And I don't know if we're going to get the same sound out of these pedals because every fuzz pedal is different, but it's interesting to know that this one sounds clearer. Okay, I'll try some single notes and something. I'll set it up on this one first and see how it sounds with this one later. Time for a different riff. There's definitely a lot more low end coming from the big box, which you might actually not want in a band mix, but on its own it sounds and feels phenomenal. The reissue is still lacking in clarity, but still sounding Russian-y. Sort of this, it does have that flavour. I don't know if it's the psychology of it, but I certainly prefer the Big Muff SOVTEK right now, the big old tank. I'm going to switch guitars and see what else I can get out of it and see. I'm pointing at this one. I mean both of them. I am obviously favouring the big one. It cost me a lot of money. It cost me like €300, which I think is actually a good deal. This one's coming in at around, under 100, I believe. So, yeah, that's a better deal. But currently I think this one sounds better. By the way, if you want to buy a Russian Big Muff, you can choose the SOVTEK one that I've got from Reverb. There's a link in the video description. If you want the reissue, there's also links in the video description to 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏 and to Sweetwater. Those links are affiliate links. Firstly, I love this guitar, or I should say baritone. It's worth quite a lot of money apparently, but staying with me. I think they both sounded great on this riff. I think the beefiness of the SOVTEK was still kind of putting it in front, but there was a different tone coming from the reissue, which, I don't know, I almost preferred the reissue on this one. I'm not sure. There was a bit more clarity on the lower notes, I think. But when we did the low gain, if I play that riff again, we did the low gain like sustain pretty much all the way down and tone all the way up, giving this kind of filtered, bassy sound. I think that sounds better on the big one. Have a listen. Yeah, it just sounds more open. The newer one sounds a bit more brittle, a bit more modern. Like, I don't know, like a fake version, which is not fair because this does sound good, but it isn't great. I've come to that conclusion already. Okay, a bit more baritone, then I'll speed things up and do some single coil stuff as well. In the room, that sounded pretty darn close, almost indistinguishable for my ears. I'm going to try it one more little time. I think that's pretty close, and what seems to be the main difference with these pedals is that the tone knob is acting differently. So there's more bass coming through this one, so when you drop it down here, the reissue sounds more bassy. I don't know if that's going to come across in the recording or on the iPhone that you're probably listening to this video on. Tut tut. Put some headphones on. Yeah, in the room that feels more bassy, but again, there's a lack of clarity and muddiness there. So I'm going to switch to some single coils and see if we can do something that really, really separates the two. Again, to my ears, the SOVTEK sounds bigger, warmer, woollier, more mammoth-y. The modern one on this one, the reissue, sounds more usable in a mix, I'll admit. Even though I had more fun playing this alone, if I was playing that riff in a band, or mixing, or wanting to mix that in a song, I would go for this one, I think. Even though I preferred the sound of that one. Does that one make sense? I think that's the more sensible choice. That might be the answer for this question, you know, which one's the better one. I don't know. If I was in a studio, I'd want this. If I was live, I think I'd probably be okay with this. Maybe with an EQ pedal. I think with an extra EQ pedal, you could definitely get closer to this using that. So that plus EQ. But remember, and I should have pointed this out at the beginning, maybe I did, that each fuzz pedal is different. These are probably more consistent in their builds. This one, I've opened it up and we had a look on Instagram, and I'll put some photos on screen now for you. There's all kinds of things going on in this one, and it looks super cool, but it's really easy to get romantic and sort of, I don't know, mojo filled with this one. Some magic, mysterious mojo. I think this one delivers. It doesn't deliver as much as this. I think if you're going to go for the reissue, the tone needs to be kept up somewhere up there, but then too much tone, it gets kind of brittle. I think the tone stack in this needs to be a little bit different. I think maybe change some parts in there, or indeed buying a different Russian Big Muff would get closer to the original. So I think EHX have done an okay job, but there are other muffs available. I played the 𝗬𝗨𝗘𝗚 from Jupiter Effects, and that seemed to get a little closer to this rich but clear tone from the SOVTEK that this one doesn't do. Yeah, so let me know in the comment section what you think and what pedals you would recommend as opposed to the EHX, because it's close, it's reminiscent, but it ain't quite there. So what pedals do you think? I've named the Jupiter Effects, the 𝗬𝗨𝗚. There we go. That's where I got war from. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. The 𝗬𝗨𝗚 from Jupiter Effects, I think sounds closer to that, which I'll test at some point. What is your recommendation? What do you think you would have on your board instead of one of these? Cool. Well, that has been a lot of fun for me. I've really enjoyed playing these two pedals. They're some of my favorite things to do in life is to play a guitar with a Russian Big Muff, and I've done it today, and I'm glad that I've heard it. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. This is the end of the video, which means you've made it to the end of the video club, and to prove that you have made it, and prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite, when you leave your comment down below, please also include the phrase, 𝗚𝗨𝗘𝗏, and that'll let me know that you made it this far and we had some big old muff fun. This video isn't sponsored or anything like that, so I don't have to say thank you to anyone apart from you. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll watch one of these other videos, or indeed like the video with a thumb, or double thumbs down if you really hate it. Click it twice. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye!